Howdy everybody, Michael Mass here, and welcome to this week's edition of When Can We Do This Again? Your tips, tricks, hacks, reviews, previews, anything that's going to save you time and or money when you plan your trip to Walt Disney World, you can find it here. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button down there. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about the five rides at Walt Disney World that you must fast pass if you want to save your precious park time. Let's get started. Today we are talking about the fast passes and what you must, your five must fast passes when you go to Walt Disney World. But first, if you have a ride that you think is a must fast pass, comment it down below. Or if you have a tip to fast passes, comment that down below too. But let's get started on what I consider the 5 must fast pass rides when we go to Walt Disney World. You're headed to Walt Disney World and you're 60 days out, and hopefully you're 60 days out. If it's a little after that, it might be tougher to get some of these fast passes. But let's talk about the 5 fast passes that you're going to want to book in advance when you head to Walt Disney World. Number 5 is going to be Toy Story Mania and Hollywood Studios. This is notoriously long lines, even though once they open that third track, the lines did die down a little bit. There were days that I actually went on that ride back to back, one of those being fast passes, but it was a really rainy day, really off season, which hardly ever happens anymore. So you're going to want to book a fast pass for that. Now, I will tell you right as of this moment, as of this recording, I just read that there's going to be a time period before Toy Story Land opens that you're not going to be able to book fast passes for Toy Story Mania. Yikes. That could be a long wait. But I guess if you're not throwing the fast pass people in there, it's not so bad. But definitely consider booking a fast pass for Toy Story Mania if you are headed to Hollywood Studios on one of your park days. Let's go on to number 4. Number 4 of your must book fast passes. This one's going to be in the Magic Kingdom, and you're going to say, well, this ride's been around a little bit. Why do we need to book a fast pass? If you look at the lines or the queues for Peter Pan, that ride is always 60, 90, 120. I actually stood in that line last March for an hour for 85 minutes because I didn't book a fast pass, and I was with my mom and I was like, hey, I really want you to ride this. The queue's awesome. Let's go do this. And we stood in line for about an hour and 15 minutes. Now here's the deal. If you book the fast pass, you're gonna miss the queue. The queue is awesome to this. So my advice, more so than booking the fast pass, is to get there at rope drop and go do it so you see the queue. But if you're not gonna get up so early because you're not a morning person, even for Disney, then I would suggest that you book the fast pass so you get to make sure you ride this ride. Either that or wait to the last second, go hop on it, because sometimes you can get that wait down to about 15 minutes if it's the last 20-30 minutes in the park on almost any ride. Now let's go to bing, number 3. Number 3, we are going to head over to Epcot. Do you see a theme here? We've been in most of the park, so I'm going to try to name something in every park that has got an excruciatingly long line sometimes. We're going to head to Epcot, and we are going to ride Frozen. Frozen Ever After is definitely a must fast pass when you look at it. Now, Epcot does have a tier system, so you're going to get to pick between Soarin', Frozen, and Test Track. Here's the deal. Test Track has a single rider line. Worst case scenario, you can take that, and usually the line is not longer than 30 minutes. If not shorter, depending on the day, depending on the season. Soarin', they've opened up new screens, so the wait and actually ability to get fast passes day of has changed a little bit depending on the season that you go. Like I said, if you don't go in busy season, you're probably going to maybe find that you can go ride Frozen Ever After and then hit a Soarin' fast pass. That's not guaranteed, but if we're going, let's talk about the main thing here. Let's talk about For the First Time in Forever. Yeah, that's, wow, I probably shouldn't sing again. But if you're going to head to Epcot and have a park day there, you're going to want Frozen Ever After as your fast pass, because that's going to be the longest line, sometimes 90, sometimes 120 minutes during slow season. So you're definitely going to want to fast pass Frozen Ever After if you head to Epcot. Now Now. Yes, if you've been keeping track, we are headed to number two Fastpass that you must book. Fastpasses, I should say. Fastpasses is going to be back in the Animal Kingdom, and we are headed to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, the waits are always 90 to 120. 90 to 120. I hardly ever see the sign less than 120. Sometimes it's 90, sometimes it's 180. Depends on the season that you're going, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to want to Fastpass this if you're headed to the Magic Kingdom. And this is one of those things that you better get in that 60-day window, because once you get closer to the 30-day window, they're harder to find. Occasionally, I'll find a solo one here or there while making a day trip over. But wow, like I've barely ridden that ride in the last year. It's a ride that you're going to want to Fastpass when you head to Magic Kingdom. That's number one, guys. Do you realize that there's a park we haven't been to yet, and that there's a new attraction in that park that has been killing the lines? The lines have been forever long. We are headed to Pandora. We're headed to Animal Kingdom for number one. For the number one ride you must Fastpass, it's going to be Flight of Passage, and these are really hard to get. So if you're 60 to 30 days, you can get one. Like a lot of them are going like that, 60, 59, 58. So if you're staying on property, make sure to get on the computer that morning and get that Fastpass. Otherwise, continuously look for that Fastpass for Flight of Passage. Flight of Passage is the new what's it called, 3D motion ride. I am not a big fan of this ride for the reason that I get motion sickness. So if you get motion sickness, this might not be a ride on your agenda, but I will tell you the ride is amazing. Like, it's a really cool ride. It's just, you might get motion sickness if you get motion sickness. So I will put that warning out there. I mean, 80% of the people are going to say, I still got to ride me some Flight of Passage, and it's definitely a must Fastpass, because you do not want to stand in the line for 2 to 3 hours. Even if you get there a rope drop, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get on this any sooner than like 150 minutes, 100 minutes. I don't know. It's a long time, a lot of time. What are your must Fastpasses? Did I miss a ride that is a must Fastpass for you? Did I miss talking about something that you're like, why didn't you Fastpass that? Why didn't you Fastpass this? Is any of that there? Give it to me in the comments. Help other people out with rides that you think you should Fastpass or they should Fastpass when they go to these parks. Like I said, I try to pick one in each park that definitely has the longest wait times, and wow, those are it. I will give you some honorable mentions, and for seasonal, it depends on seasonal. I would say Splash Mountain. Like, the Fastpasses fly away for it, and the lines are really long in summer. Because it's hot and you want to get wet and all that stuff. Wow. I will also say Navi River Journey is a long wait most of the time, because people are not waiting for Flight of Passage and they're heading over to Navi, and that is taking, the lines up to that are like 60 and 90 on a regular basis as well. What else? I think that's about it that are like must Fastpasses. I mean, you have Rock and Roller Coaster over in Hollywood, but it's got a single rider line, and usually I utilize that. Epcot, I've already given you the rundown of the rest of those rides. But those are the rides that I think, and maybe even, like I said, that little last bit there are the honorable mention of must Fastpasses when you head to Walt Disney World. Like I said, let me know your advice, your tips when it comes to Fastpasses right down in the comments. Guys, I am going to get out of here. I hope that you have had a great day, and I hope to see you again so we can do this again. Bye-bye!